We do recognize their right to protect themselves. And 1 month after this terrorist attack, I think it would be not the right way to deal with a partner and friend just to say you will be condemned and you are guilty. De facto, today, civilians are bombed. De facto, these babies, these ladies, these old people are bombed and killed. There is no reason for that and no legitimacy. So we do urge Israel to stop. I'm not here to, I'm not a judge. I'm a head of state. I just remind everybody international law. I call for a ceasefire, and I will urge them for a ceasefire, for a humanitarian ceasefire.
You know you are at the wrong when even your own friends are like, come on, bro, slow down. No, we love you. We would like to see you succeed. And we are here to protect you. But this has got to stop. You have got to slow down. When your own friends start saying that, you must understand you are at the wrong. And that is exactly what Emmanuel Macron has done. He has dared to call for a ceasefire in Gaza. So let's watch this BBC interview to hear exactly what he said. And after we come back, I shall give you my take on this whole issue in Gaza and how Israel has kind of like leveled Gaza. So let's watch.
Weeks of aid organizations sounding the alarm about Gaza, and so you've now said that humanitarian pauses in fighting aren't enough and there needs to be work towards a ceasefire. Are you disappointed that other world leaders aren't joining you in that call, like the US or the UK?
No, I hope they will. And let's be clear, I mean, I was one of the first leaders to call the Prime Minister and President of Israel after the terrorist attack, the 7th of October. We clearly condemned this terrorist attack and this terrorist group and recognize the right of Israel to protect itself and react. But day one, we say that this reaction and the fight against terrorism, because it is led by a democracy, should be compliant with international rules, rule of war and humanitarian international law. And day after day, what we saw is a permanent bombing of civilians in Gaza. And I think it's very important to say the whole story. But I think this is the only solution we have, this ceasefire. Because it's impossible to explain we want to fight against terrorism by killing innocent people.
You've talked about the fight against terrorism needing to be merciless, is the word you used, but not without rules. And you've just referred there to the high loss of civilian life in Gaza. Do you think Israel is respecting those rules, the international rules that you're referring to?
Look, in the very first days, it's clear that the emotion, the compassion, created a situation where everybody was just close to Israel and backing them and sharing the pain. And we do share their pain and we do share their willingness to get rid of terrorism. We know what terrorism means in France. But I think there is no justification precisely to attack civilians.
What I would like just to clarify with you, are you saying that Israel is guilty of breaking international humanitarian law, potential war crimes?
No, I'm here, look, I think it's not the proper way to approach the question. We do recognize their right to protect themselves. And 1 month after this terrorist attack, I think it would be not the right way to deal with a partner and friend just to say you will be condemned and you are guilty. De facto, today, civilians are bombed. De facto, these babies, these ladies, these old people are bombed and killed. There is no reason for that and no legitimacy. So we do urge Israel to stop. I'm not here to, I'm not a judge, I'm a head of state. I just remind everybody international law, I call for a ceasefire, and I will urge them for a ceasefire, for an humanitarian ceasefire.
You guys can all hear what Emmanuel Macron has said, right? That in as much as Israel want to fight against Hamas, and in as much as Israel is within its right to protect its border and its people, in as much as Hamas was the first to strike Israel on the 7th of October, well, they might not be the first because this whole saga has been ongoing for like many years now. So what happened on the 7th of October, though it was very graphic, very horrifying, but it wasn't the beginning of the conflict. This conflict has been ongoing for many, many years now. So even though Hamas struck Israel and killed 1,400 plus or minus people, the way Israel has reacted is concerning. The way Israel is kind of like indiscriminately bombing Gaza is a call for concern. And the way Israel is kind of like attacking hospitals and killing civilians. And if you see the number of civilians that have been killed, I think as of now should be about 12,000 people who have died, if I'm not mistaken. And among these 12,000, about 6,000 are children. We even have premature babies who have died. So when you see all this and you still think that Israel has the right to protect itself the way they are going about it, then I don't know the kind of person you really are. Because we all have all said that, yes, they do. They do have the right to protect themselves. They do have the right to go after Hamas. But the way they go about it might be what gives them the legitimacy or make them being labeled as war criminals. If they continue killing the Gazians as they have done, it won't be long before people start calling them war criminals and people start asking for the International Court of Justice to issue a warrant for them. It won't be long. And I know Uncle Sam, America has always protected them. But there will come a time where America would kind of like reconsider their whole dealings with Israel. Because when public anger kept on mounting, when people kept on protesting, and when leaders from other countries like Emmanuel Macron came out and openly called for a ceasefire in Gaza, I do not think America, aka Uncle Sam, would want to be standing alone. I do not think so. I personally believe that Israel has done enough, and we do not know for sure how many Hamas fighters they have killed, but we know for sure that 12,000 plus or more people have died. That is what we know for sure. Among these 12,000, we know for sure 6,000 plus or minus of them are children. We also know for sure that premature babies have died. But we do not know for sure how many Hamas fighters are among this number of people that have been killed by Israel. So that goes to tell you that the way Israel has been going about this thing has not been working out for them. Because initially they told us that there are about 40,000 Hamas fighters. And if they've killed almost 6,000 children already, and we are not still sure how many Hamas fighters they have killed so far, or how many of them are among the 12,000 plus or minus people. That tells us that before they get to 40, as their whole plan is to eradicate Hamas, before they get to that number, that 40 number, how many people will be left in Gaza? How many Palestinians will be left alive? Have you guys asked yourself that question? Before they get to eliminating or eradicating Hamas of about 40,000 plus or minus members, how many Palestinians will have to go? Let that sink in for a second. Let that sink in for a second. So I will have to say this before I go. Israel has the right to defend itself. What Hamas did on the 7th of October was horrific, was a criminal offense. And if there is a way to get them arrested, maybe go to Qatar, get them. If there's a way to do that, by all means, Israel, go to Qatar, look for a way, take them all out. But you must have to stop this carpet bumping in Gaza. You must have to stop starving the people in Gaza. You must have to stop punishing the entire Gazan population because of Hamas. This has to stop. But you guys out there, when you hear Emmanuel Macron calling for a ceasefire in Gaza, what is your take? Is he right or is he wrong? Share that thought with us in the comment section below, because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. And please do not forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, because that helps us a lot and we shall forever be grateful to you. So thank you very much for doing just that. And like always, see you in the next one.